Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed the Quran to the entire mankind via Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not the words of Muhammad, it's the word of Allah. But still, there are many people who believe that the Quran is written by him when he is illiterate. He doesn't know how to write, doesn't know how to read. How he is able to write the Quran? There are still many people who don't believe that the Quran is the word of Allah. But it is amazing. Allah is so kind and so generous and so compassionate. He wants us to be successful. He wants us to enter His paradise. He wants us to be living in peace and harmony in this world. And for that very reason, He has revealed the Quran as a guide for the entire mankind. What to do, what not to do, in order to finally become the lover of Allah. And that is the reason why Allah has revealed the Quran. For us to be guided to do what He wants, not to do what He doesn't want. To know what He likes, what He don't like. So when anybody make a tafseer of the Quran, it must conclude, the tafsir must conclude to what Allah likes, what Allah wants us to do, what Allah doesn't want us to do. So when we do what Allah likes and we did not do what Allah did not like, then we become the lover of Allah. A lover of Allah is one who obeys Allah, and who obeys Allah will become the lover of Allah. That's the way. To become the lover of Allah is to obey Allah. And a person who is the lover of Allah will obey Allah. There's no such thing as the lover of Allah disobey Allah. No. If someone is told, do this is an order of Allah, he said no. He doesn't love Allah. He will not love Allah and he will not become the lover of Allah. If we want to become the lover of Allah, we must obey Him. And we must not do what He has prohibited. That's basically the point. It's not so difficult to understand this. Do what He wants and do not do what He did not want. So the Quran must be able to tell you what He wants, what He doesn't want. Person who knows what he wants and who knows what he doesn't want, he has the knowledge of the Quran. When he has the knowledge of the Quran, he has the knowledge of prophethood. He has the true knowledge. Because that knowledge only will lead a person to become the lover of Allah, to become successful. Other knowledge which they are called knowledge, knowledge how to make a computer, how to compute, or how to compute something, how to use this, like what Samad is teaching his student, that of no use. And so it cannot be called knowledge. How to write, how to sew a clothes, how to cook, how to have a healthy body, all that are not knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is to know what Allah wants and what Allah does not want. And what Allah wants is obedience to His orders. What He doesn't want is obedience. So when Yazid disobey Allah, it means he doesn't love Allah, he doesn't like Allah. A sign that a person who doesn't love Allah, doesn't like Allah, is he disobey Allah. As simple as that. Even those who look like obeying Allah, but if he doesn't obey Allah because to please Allah, he will also not be a sign of love of Allah. This one we did not know. As far as we know, whoever obey, we think that he loves Allah. But definitely Allah knows. Whether the person obeying Allah with the intention to please Him or not, He only knows. So, in other words, whatever we do, whatever we obey, whatever we do, the intention of doing that thing must be to please Him, to make Him happy. In other words, He's our lover. We want to make our lover happy. A person doesn't want to make someone who doesn't love to become happy. He will make him to become unhappy. For example, if you love your son, love your daughter, love your wife, you do what it takes to make them happy. Like Yazid, do what it takes to make his son happy, to make himself happy, to make his wife happy. And he say, I don't love my wife. See, he's telling lies. So my dear brothers, what Allah wants us to love Him. For all these things, He wants us to love Him. Fair enough that He wants us to love Him. He has created us. Why should we love other than Allah when they don't create us, don't nourish us, don't provide our sustenance, do nothing, neither give harm, no benefit. So, when we don't believe Allah is the one who created us, who nourishes us, who provide our sustenance, then we will not be able to love Him if we don't believe. Even if we know only. We know Allah is the nourisher. Know only. You're a small kid. Who nourishes you? Allah. Who created you? Allah. That they know. The kids only know. Some old people also, they only know, like Rashidi. But they don't believe. So when you ask him who created you, Allah. Who gives you food? Allah. Everything is Allah. You obey Allah? No. Okay? That means they know but they don't believe. A person who believes in Allah to the level which Allah wants, that person will obey Allah's commandments and will disobey, will obey the orders of Allah and will obey the orders of Allah, not to do things which He has forbidden. So the whole life in this world is to end our life as the lover of Allah, the aim. We should live this world in a state of being loved by Him. Very nice. Very nice to be loved by the Creator. You will not be able to find this if you don't love Allah or Allah love you. You will not have to. You don't really reach the aim of this life, the real value of having to live in this world, if you don't love Allah, if you don't end your life, longing to meet Him. A person who is the lover of Allah will long to meet Allah. So death is not an agony for them. A death is not an agony for them, but love is a time of meeting his lover. So to those lovers of Allah, death means a great mercy. So when Bilal is about to die, all around him cried. He said, "Don't cry. I'm about to meet my lover, my friend, Muhammad Sallam. Don't cry. Why you cry? I'm dying, but I'm meeting." See? Those who love this world will cry living this world because they are living their lover. So many lovers like Yazid will cry because when he dies, he's living his lover. The wife, the kid, the wealth, the house, everything. So desperately they're very scared at the time of their death. Those who are not the real lover of Allah, partial only, they will have, some fear. Then angel come and say to him, "Don't fear. Don't have fear. Don't be scared. I'm with you. I'm with you in this world. I'm also with you in the Akhirah. And the good news for you, you will enter paradise." These are for the people who are true believer, but not yet a lover of Allah. But the lover of Allah, they are very, very sure. The time to depart from the world, which has been a place of great, mujahada, or the time of a great test. The life in this world is nothing but a test to the believer, to the lover of Allah. The life in this world is nothing but a test as to whether you obey Allah or you don't obey Allah. So in order to test us, Allah give us all this asbab, If Allah do not want to test us, Allah do not ask us to work, to eat, to sleep. We'll have our needs without working, like the animals. They don't work. Why their needs are fulfilled? Because Allah do not want to test them. This world is not meant to test the animal. It's meant to test the man. So we are asked to use asbab. Asbab means. We can't satisfy our hunger if we don't eat. We cannot satisfy our thirst without drinking, isn't it? We cannot protect ourselves from the sun and the heat without a house or shelter. So we cannot earn or having anything without working. So as a result, we work, we eat, we drink. So we think that it's not Allah who provides us the food, but it's actually Allah. We think that it's not Allah who satisfies our hunger, it's the food. But it's not the food, but it's Allah. We think that the water is quenching our thirst, but it's not the water is Allah. That's it. Only very simple thing, that we don't believe what we see as the one who provides us, sustains us, satisfies our hunger. If we be able to do that, then we will believe in the unseen. Allah is the doer, the creator, the nourisher, the sustainer. That's all what belief is all about, is to believe in the unseen. The unseen is to believe in Allah as the one who suffices our needs. It's not our work. What belief Sufyan has as his sustenance? Allah or his work? Sufyan say Allah, but Sufyan will not say in total Allah, so stop. Allah, but we need to work. Of course, Allah is a sustainer, but the word but is always there. To tell that it's not only Allah who sustains us, but Allah will not sustain us if we don't have work. That is the wrong belief. Allah can sustain us without work. With work or without work. He doesn't need our work to sustain us, to nourish us. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need these means to provide all our needs. He can provide our need without means, but in order to test us as to whether we are grateful to Him, as to whether we know Him or not. And we become ungrateful. So those who become ungrateful will be punished in this world and in the after. Those who are grateful will be rewarded in this world and in the after. So the life in this world is nothing but a test. When we are made poor, when we are made rich, when we made to have many wives, when we are made to have no wife. You know, Rashidi was worried why I don't have wife. He told me, there's so many girls in this world, why Allah do not give me one girl to become my wife? I told him, you should not marry. Because you are, first of all, you got no work. No? And all the time, he's not willing to work hard. And the way he acts as if he wants to be single all the while. Because if you have a wife, you'll be tested to provide there, to work, not to provide to work, you know, to give food to your wife, your children, to build a house for them. You know? At least not build to rent a house. All that thing, I believe that Rashidi will not be able to provide. So I said, you don't marry. Oh, he said, no, I must marry. I said, if you want to marry, you marry stupid people only, who don't complain. So you go and see your relation, your nephew, those who are in Thailand. I told him, it's a true story. Then he went. He said, nobody wants Amesam to marry me. Oh, I said, what a pity. I said, okay, we cannot find a person like that to marry you. You don't marry. He still want to marry. So to cut story short, finally he married with the staff of my university. Ooh. With a master degree. Now he complained. My wife is complaining, asking this, asking that. I don't have money. So finally, he's quarreling all the time with his wife. He said, this is bogies. Why he asked so much? I see with my own eyes. He scolded his wife for asking him on our way for Jalan. I said, Rashidi, that's why I told you. I told you, you should not marry. But he insists to take the test. He's not capable of taking the test, but he said, yes. Now he failed. What? Isn't it so? Huh? He failed. When you fail the test, you cannot obey. As a result, you cannot have house. Nah. Cannot rent a house. Nah. You cannot provide food. Cannot give. That's basic. Not to have birthday is something extra. He has only 2 kids. He should have birthday for the kids. 2 kids only. But he cannot afford it. I told you, you don't follow. The reason is, when your teacher who is guiding you on the correct path tell you, Allah is giving insinuation to you to guide you, but you just couldn't obey, trying to disobey. So now, as you can see, what is the consequences of him. Udwa said, okay, you can marry. Initially, the order is don't marry. Pursuing, wanting to marry. At the end, what is the result? You can see, isn't it? Rashidi? You can see the result, isn't it? What you want to shed tears anymore? Now, when you are always quarreling with the wife, then the iman that you have while doing Gash will lose, will be driven out from yourself when you quarrel. When you quarrel with anyone, including with your wife or anyone, you will lose your iman. So Rashidi is quarreling almost every day. So I told him, don't quarrel. You keep quiet. Oh, very difficult. I said, if you don't, your iman will be disappeared. There's no point having iman, losing iman. Having iman, losing iman. At the end of the day, no iman. See? These simple acts, if we don't follow, then we will not be able to have strong iman. Why quarreling make us to lose iman? Because when we quarrel, we start to think that I'm better than you. Who are you? You are just my wife. You must obey me. The wife said, who are you? You are the husband, but all my needs are not fulfilled. So, those who don't have the means, Allah do not order us to marry. Allah is kind. But if we want still to marry and without having ability to provide the needs for our family, then we are taking tests which we are not able to pass. So don't take tests which we are not able to pass. The very basic guideline. Okay? For example, those who are not able to, pay for car. So it's trying to take a test, buying big car, At the end, you'll have no money. And the car will be taken away and then you'll be sued in the court. And you'll have misery after misery. Like Yazid. I told him to divorce his wife. The other one don't marry. There's one divorced wife. Another one I asked him to marry an old woman. All these my orders. But for Sufyan, if he stay here, if he stay close to here, I say you can marry another one. But he doesn't want to stay close to here. He wants to still stay in Ampang. The order is not there. But he doesn't want to move here and then want to marry. That's wrong. If he has a good iman, then to marry another one is beneficial. If you have weak iman, to marry more than one is disaster. But many people do not know this. Oh, they said, sunnah. Sunnah, you have no iman and then you want to marry more, like Rashidi, no iman, wanting to marry a master. So, we can pass the test which Allah has given us in this world if we have the iman, Allah says to you, I'll make you poor because your iman is very weak. If I make you rich, you definitely will be flying like cats and dogs. But still, yes, Ya Allah, oh Allah, give me wealth, I want to become rich. And we start to do all sorts of things to make ourselves rich. And when we become rich, surely we fail the test. So rather than busy looking for tests, means we must be busy to make our iman strong. When our iman is strong, what test come? We'll pass it. Allah can give us this and can give. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do not give us in the initial part of our life when our iman is weak with a lot of wealth. Understand? Allah is kind. He is a knower. He knows what to give, what not to give. But we simply do not care. Like Rashidi, I told him, you don't marry. You don't worry about it. He said, I want to marry. Now, there is no order for him to divorce his wife. You know? But maybe his wife wants to divorce after years of not having to give her the needs that she wants. For how long she can stand. Then Rashidi will back to square one. And then he say, I want sex. Then when he don't have iman, what will he do? He'll go to Chinatown now to get who? Prostitutes. Then he disobeys some more. When he marry, he quarrel. When he don't marry, also disobey Allah. The reason as to why he is disobeying Allah, iman is weak. He doesn't know that. He just want to have sex, that's all. So when he don't have wife, he will go to prostitute. And that's making it even worse. He definitely will not have iman. Understand? There is one person, who driving a cab, or who driving a Grab, told Abdul Hakim that I married with a prostitute. Oh, with 8 children. The father is unknown, not me. I never have sex with her. I just marry her because my mother wants me to marry her. If I don't marry her, she will not talk to me.
How long? 30 years.
For 30 years. He is not having sex with the woman, but the woman have 8 kids. Father of different kinds. Chinese, Indian, black, white. Now he divorced that wife. See? So, similarly, Rashidi will become like that. Having prostitutes. Now he say he will not. No. If you have weak iman, you will fail the test. Definitely. If you don't have wife, fail the test. That's why prostitute business is flourishing, because there is customer. Flourishing means the business is, the business of prostitution start from the day one of the existence of mankind. It's the earliest profession. Because you enjoy and you have money. Having sex in it. You can become prostitute until you're old, if you are still, okay. Because as long as there's demands, there will be still thriving. The business of prostitution will only it's no longer required when everybody have very strong iman. So, how to combat the evils? How to make the evils to be driven away from our life? It's only to make our iman strong, nothing else, and to make iman of everyone strong. How? We cannot make our iman strong unless we obey the order, to believe in Allah and to believe Muhammad Sallam, and after that to obey the order of inviting people to Allah, or inviting people to good, preventing people from evil. Sufyan doesn't want, Sufyan Gombak, he doesn't want to do it as per required. He said, I do it just as I can. He believed I only can do this much, I will do this. This is not the way how to do it. We are not told to do the work of inviting people to Allah, inviting people to good way as we can. No. We are asked, ordered to do the work according to the way of what? Muhammad SAW. Okay? Effendi doesn't do according to the Muhammad Sallam. I ordered him, you move here, leave your wife in Sungai Buloh, you go to see your wife only twice a week, twice in a week, twice, 2 days. He just, give a deaf ear. So are you doing the work according to Muhammad Sallam or not? No. No obedience. How? The way Muhammad Sallam must have obedience. Yazid, divorce wife, not doing the way. Someone asking him to leave Melaka and come here. Doesn't want. Sufyan, you leave Ampang, come Johan. I told him, don't marry. Right? The thing is that we are not willing to obey Allah the way Allah shown to Muhammad Sallam. That is to do the order with sacrifice of our desire, sacrifice of our person and our wealth. Then only the love of the wealth, the love of the person, the love of our own self will depart, will be taken out from our soul, and then only the love of Allah will be able to enter into our heart. Without taking out the love of other than Allah out of our soul, the love of Allah will never be able to enter. So when the love of Allah will never be able to enter into our soul, then whatever we do, we will not do it to please Allah. Definitely. How can we do it to please Allah when we don't like Allah? Like Yazid, you don't love Allah, you don't like Allah. He may be cooking, he may be serving me, he may be ironing my clothes, but he doesn't do all that to please Allah because he doesn't love Allah, he doesn't like Allah. He will do it probably to please me or just to pretend. So it's useless, So we become a loser. So that's why Allah says, all mankind are loser except those who believe and who do good deeds. And the good deeds which Allah means is whenever we obey Allah with the intention to please Allah in the way Muhammad SAW. We must not say good deeds only praying. Our praying are not good deeds. The praying of Yazid will not be a good deed when he doesn't pray to please Allah. He wants to show that people who do da'wah must pray. How can I don't pray? I'm young, I'm having beard, It's a shame for me to walk around not praying. So to cover my shame, so I must have beard, like Effendi now. He doesn't really like to have beard. You think he likes to have beard? 12 years he was not doing this work. He was without beard. When he came here, initially without beard. Now he having beard. You think the beard is ikhlas? No. His iman is weak. Definitely his beard is not ikhlas. But of course, it's better to have beard and with wrong intention than not to have beards and have the curse of people. People cursing, oh, you do da'wah, no beard. You do da'wah, no beard. So I must do beard. Otherwise we say, how can you do da'wah, no beards? Even people, simple people also not doing da'wah having beard. So we don't have beard because to please people. We have beard because to please Allah. And then only our beards are sunnah. If we have beards and the intention of having beard is not to please Allah, that is not sunnah. But we say it is sunnah, but it's not sunnah. Because Nabi SAW having beard with the intention to please Allah, we don't. We have beard because to look like religious people. And that's called shirik, To have beards because we want to be known as a person who love Allah when we don't love Allah is hypocrisy. So we have to be genuine, pure. And Allah SWT will only accept pure actions, not impure. Allah is pure. Definitely, Allah would not like to have deeds which are impure. So He doesn't accept impure deeds. He accepts the good deeds and which are the deed done in the way of Muhammad SAW, and with the intention to please Allah until Allah is pleased. In order to have that, we must love Allah. Without having the love of Allah, we will never have sincerity in our action. For that reason, we must do this work of inviting people to Allah. Of doing the work of inviting people to good and preventing people from evil in the way shown by Muhammad SAW, with the sacrifice of our will, with obedience. Then only we can have Allah in our heart. And when we have Allah in our heart, only then will we have sincerity in our action.